I didn't know how to start the video, so I thought a salute would do well. Today is Thursday, the 21st of February. Yesterday was the day that Sony announced all the stuff they were going to do for the PS4. Obviously, that's something we're going to talk about on the next podcast, but because the podcast is maybe a week or two away, I thought I'd do a little bit of talking about it and my perspective of what's been spoke about. I'm reading all of this off my iPod right now because yesterday, for the unveiling of everything, I was asleep. I've been at work all week, so I was too tired and I couldn't stay up, so I'm going to have to read it all off here. I've had a flick through already. I'm going to have a proper read through before we do the podcast, so we can talk about it. But being the PlayStation guru that I am, apparently, I thought I'd talk about it with you now, as best as I can. You can leave some comments and I can mention them on the show. Feel free to do it. First thing I wanted to mention, the link that I'm reading all this off will be in the description, and I'm reading it off the BBC website. One of the first things I want to mention, because I've skipped past a bit of a chunk, is Sony are thinking that a successful launch might spur on sales of Sony's new televisions and other consumer electronics, helping turn around its fortunes, because last year they made a net loss of £3.2 billion. And to me that's staggering. You know, how are all these like HMV and stuff going down, and this is still Sony's still alive with £3.2 billion loss in a financial year? It's just outstanding to me, I suppose. But they forecast that they're going to make a 20 billion yen profit for the current financial year in March, so ending in March. So, you know, maybe that'll bring it back up. But then in yen, they made the net loss of 456.7 billion yen. So 20 billion yen on top of that is still a loss, surely. Maybe I'm just not very technical with this sort of stuff. They say that it's going to come out in the holidays 2013 in some of the countries. We discussed this on the podcast, and from the look of it, it's not going to come out here in the UK until 2014, which I'm okay with, I suppose, because, you know, the hype is one big thing that I'm looking forward to about this game console. I'm still pretty happy with my PS3, and I'm not going to get another one for I'm not going to get the next gen for a couple of years. And as I mentioned on the podcast, I'm sort of not losing the will, but I'm losing the excitement I had for the PS3. You know, I had a Wii, and I was getting a bit bored of the Wii, and I wasn't really enticed by the Xbox 360 because I knew Jack would. The Xbox boss, as he is, he was going to get an Xbox. I knew he would. He was debating whether to get a PS3 or an Xbox, but I knew he'd get an Xbox because that's what he does. That's his console, you know. He really likes the Halo games, and I like playing Halo games with him. But I've got an Xbox that I don't use at all, and I didn't use it very much anyway. And I tried to play Halo on my own, and I didn't enjoy it as much. And I think that's what it is. I think that I can play Halo with him, but I prefer to play my own games, and that's what I've got. I've got games that I can play on my own. In fact, when I bought this, I had to go out and buy 2-player games so we could play games together. Because I prefer playing games on my own, and to me, the PS3 is more for that, if that makes sense. In my head, anyway. What I really miss, and I think I mentioned this in the podcast, and this is going a little bit off topic, but I'm going to mention it anyway, is I miss the different games. I think I did mention it actually. Like Xbox had its own brand of games, and so did the PS3. And now PS3's got God of War and Resistance, and Xbox has got, just off the top of my head, has got Halo. But that's about it. And I missed that they had quite a lot of individual games between them. Like Ratchet and Clank, there's another one, I suppose. They had loads of individual games between them, and I think that was a big thing of deciding which console you're going to get. PS4 at the minute is not enticing me to get it, because I can't see a franchise continuing. Like, I can't see a Resistance 4 coming out. They might announce a Resistance 4, but I can't see one coming out, like a game that's going to be exclusively for the PS4. You know, a game that they're going to release, and they're going to say, look, the PS4 is going to have this game. You want this game. We all know you want this game. Now you've got to buy a PS4. You know, I think when they release the next gen Xbox 360, they need this. They need this game that's going to be like their staple head, their letterhead, their whatever you want to call it, because I can't think of the word right now, that sort of shows this console off. You need this console because of this game right here that we've got. Other things that they mentioned, back on topic, the console's controller was announced. I've got my PS3 controller here, so I can sort of show you what it is. The link will be below. This is the PS3 controller as it is. Here, instead of this and the start and the start and the select buttons, that's going to be a touch screen here, built on here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Instead of that bit. So you've still got your directional buttons and your triangle and your square and stuff, but you've got a touchpad there as well. I don't know why it doesn't look huge. I'd show you the picture, but I don't think it's gonna. There you go. There's the picture of it. That touchscreen doesn't look huge. You know, if you look at that picture and this next to each other, it looks like it's just gonna fit where all of this is, and it doesn't look very big. To me, that doesn't make any sense. The bottom picture there, you can't really see it very well, but I'll hold it there. That might help. There we go. The blue light connects with a camera. It can be tracked by a camera to sense movement, which is strange. What would we use that for? You know, maybe they're going to release games such as Heavy Rain, where the controller movement would be essential, but then they've got that with this controller. So the light on it doesn't make any sense to me. And this is what I mean. I suppose reading through it better may explain this sort of stuff to me more. But to me, the touchscreen being so small, the light that can track movement, why? What's it for? What games is it for? You know, why is this going to be essential for, is what I want to know. Maybe they're keeping me hooked, but at the minute it's not. They've got a PC-based chip built in. Sony described the machine as being like a supercharged PC, which could be cool. It could be pretty cool because we mentioned it on the podcast. You know, PC games, the graphics are sometimes better. Like Skyrim graphics are way better apparently on the PC. So maybe the PS4 is going to have graphics that are that good. You know, and that would be a great thing. I'm not going to read the specs off because I mentioned on the podcast as well. I don't really like the specs of it all because to me, it's got to look good. It can't just sound good. It's got to look good. And I know that sort of transitions, but to me, you know, none of these words mean anything, really. It's just flashy words. I want to see what it looks like. And they didn't unveil a PS4 at the conference, from what I can see, from what I've heard. So, you know, it's all sort of hearsay at the minute. But a PC-based chip would be great for this console, I think. I think that's going to be the clincher. You know, I was talking about the staple game. To me, this could be the clincher if Xbox tries to take it in a completely different route. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like, I suppose. We'll see what the graphics are like and stuff like that. But I think PC gamers are going to stick to the PC games at the end of the day. You know, it could shock us all. It could underwhelm us a little bit. We'll see how it goes. It comes with a new DualShock 4 controller, which is the photos I've just shown you, which includes a touchpad, a share button, and a light bar, which allows a separate camera to track its movement. The share button is going to be for the videos and the photos that I was mentioning before. It is a complete controller upgrade with touch, share, and better responsiveness, says Brian Blair, an analyst of the tech consultancy Gartner. The new controller is key to a better PS4 experience. It has an ability to share content easily and brings in a component of touch that allows even more ways to interact with games. Vague. That is my main problem with this controller. You know, it's extremely vague. Great, I get to share content that I've done on the games. What is this touchpad for? What is the light for? None of it's really explained very well. The last little tiny bits that I want to mention, which are pretty much headings, and then I'll just try to put my own opinion on it, is designed for developers. The console is going to be designed for developers. Sony invited developers on stage to preview some of the PS4 games being worked on. They included Killzone Shadowfall, in addition to the best-selling Killzone science fiction first-person shooter series. Thanks, BBC. the racing game Drive Club, superhero game Infamous, Second Son, and Diablo 3. People have been really looking forward to Diablo 3, so apparently this is going to be huge. Ubisoft also confirmed that its much discussed title Watch Dogs, which involves a hacker taking control of smart city systems, is indeed being developed for the PS4. Great. Because I've seen, if this is the game that I've seen little bits of, and I'll try and find it and it'll be in the description below when I've uploaded this video, that game looks amazing, and that you could use the touchscreen for, but the touchpad looks too small to be using for that game. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've just got to be really... because I haven't got small fingers. I mean, this doesn't help, but look, I haven't got small fingers, you know. Hopefully the pad's a bit bigger than it looks. So that game alone already entices me a tiny bit, I suppose. But Killzone, never played it. Drive Club, I'm not much of a driving gamer person. Diablo 3, maybe I'll play it, but I haven't played the other ones. Infamous, haven't played the other ones. So Watch Dogs is the only game that really stands out for me on this. Improved graphics is, you know, it's on par with the PC graphics system that we were talking about. They're improving the graphics using the PC-based systems. You know, it depends on what they are aiming to get from this, because I could see them trying to open up into a new generation of people as well. The PlayStation. You know, the PC games are what they are. People always say that they prefer the PC games, you know, especially with Skyrim, as I was saying. Most people prefer the PC version of that. Maybe they're trying to open up the market and be like, we can do this quality of game, you have to trust us on it, and we will show you with this. The problem I've got with that is the pre-owned games thing. If they're all going to stick with this thing where you can't buy pre-owned games anymore, no one's going to go out and buy a PS4. People will, obviously, everyone will. Everyone will buy the next gen, because then you can't play the new games that come out. But to get new people involved in your console, I think it's sort of essential in a way. Look, I bought my PS3 and games were really expensive, so I bought pre-owned games, and that's made me buy, you know, like the new games and not pre-owned. Like Hitman, I pre-ordered that so I could get the Sniper Challenge, and I think that's what developers have tried to do. They've tried to put little bits in that make you want to buy it. New. You know, like I bought Lego Lord of the Rings new and stuff like that, but then there's games where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to play this, and none of my friends had it, such as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I don't want to play it, I want to play it online because it's quite entertaining, it's sort of something to do, basically. I haven't had much to do, so I bought that and I play it online. But that's what I use it for, and I don't want to pay like 30, 40 quid for a game that I'm only going to use online. But running out of time, so the last thing I'm going to mention is how much they haven't really released. How much they're going to, from what I've read, from what I've heard, they haven't really announced how much it's going to cost, this console. But they've said they're quite flexible on price. Apparently, they're not really set on a price, and they're quite flexible on how much they're going to release it for. Some people one of my friends was saying that they reckon it's going to be £400, but they reckon it's going to be quite low now. I don't think they're going to go as high as that. I think they could, but I don't think they will. Maybe they'll try it, see how long, because they're releasing it in other countries first. So if they release it at like America's $500, or £500 in dollars, and then when they bring it over to us, the estimated price that it would definitely sell at, maybe that'll work for them. I think that's the best way to go about it, to be honest. America's going to buy more than we are, obviously, because there's more people there. But they can sort out the prices at the countries they're releasing at first, and then when it comes over to us, this is the set price that we're going to sell it at, because this is the price that we think it will be able to sell for. You know, you don't want to put it on the market for something it's not going to sell for. This is what it'll sell for, and then it'll slowly go down like it does for all of them. So yeah. Those are my thoughts on the PS4 announcement. I'm really annoyed that they didn't show us the PS4, but that's how I feel. How do you feel? Leave some comments down below. Don't forget to check the links, because I'm going to put the link to this and a link to Watch Dogs, I think it was called. Sorry, I forgot the name of it. That'll be all in the description. Don't forget to download the new podcast, and I'll speak to you again soon.